are you? Today is the 24th, I believe, Monday, July 24th, and I'm continuing our conversations from readers who have been sending me queries after reading You Are the Universe, Discovering Your Cosmic Self and Why It Matters. You can join the conversation here at discoveringyourcosmicself.com, and I'm grateful to all of you for joining this conversation on a daily basis. It expands our awareness and our thought processes, and our collective introspection is as helpful to me as I hope it is to you. Today's question is from Shivansh Mahajan. Namaste, Dr. Chopra. Lately I've been able to understand the magnificence of cosmic consciousness. So one clarity, cosmic consciousness is basically unconditioned consciousness. Cosmic consciousness is pure awareness. Okay. And the power of the true self, well, the true self, pure awareness, cosmic consciousness is the same thing. I am working to shape my life through this awareness. But one of the obstacles I frequently come across is, he calls it the physical mind. First of all, there is no such thing as a physical mind. There is mind. And mind is a modification of awareness as thought and feeling. But nevertheless, though I've always used my qualities of thought, quote unquote, and contemplation to create things I desire in my life, I can now see myself identifying myself, quote unquote, meaning the conditioned self, with this mind. Obsessive thoughts that are linked with unnecessary anxiety seem to hold me back. Fortunately, meditation helps me to bring me into the beautiful experience of now. Yet later I find myself over-intellectualizing about my spiritual life as well. Intellect. You know, the intellect is referred to in Vedanta as a mistake. The mistake of the intellect is that it separates the observer from the observed. And even though the intellect is very useful in what we call logical discourse and what we call the scientific method, the intellect and the mind in a way veil fundamental reality. And I think you get that. I know I'm definitely more than my mind. Yes, you are the consciousness that can modify itself as mind, body and universe. And I'm grateful that I'm in pursuit of it. Yes, we should all be grateful just for the existence of awareness and for existence itself. But I'm curious to know what you feel is important to overcome the illusion of obsessive thoughts to keep one's spiritual journey going. Any experiences would be really appreciated. Not experiences, any insights. Okay, so let's tackle this. Okay, all thoughts, with the exception of original creativity, all thoughts are recycled collective consciousness. So the first thing to realize is that most of your thoughts are not yours. They're just recycling through awareness as a result of the hypnosis of social conditioning. For some people, that's a useful insight, because when they have a thought and they can say, is this mine or is this just recycling through me? And then they can say, next please, and let the thought pass through their awareness. Obviously this is not happening to you because you're holding on with obsession to thoughts that give you anxiety. For this kind of experience, I think cognitive therapy is very helpful, and Byron Katie, who's a popular writer and has written about her work in many books, but particularly in a book called The Work, she has simplified cognitive therapy into 4 questions. So when you have a thought, you write down the thought, and then you say, is it true? Yes or no? Okay. Then you write down underneath that, am I 100% sure it's true? Yes, no. This is Byron Katie's method, Katie Byron's method. Am I 100% sure if it's true? Yes or no? Then next question, what is holding on to this thought doing to me? And then you answer that question. And then the next question is, who would I be without this thought? And then you write down who you would be without this thought. And then you turn it around, you write down the opposite of the thought that was troubling you. So if the thought was, I'm never going to be successful, you write the opposite. And the more you practice this kind of reflective self-inquiry, the more obsessive thoughts lose their hold on you. So this is called reflective self-inquiry, cognitive therapy, etc., etc. So that's another way of dealing with obsessive thoughts. The third way is through meditation, which you've been practicing, but there are many kinds of meditation. So mantra meditation frequently helps you transcend the thought, because in mantra meditation there is frequently something that we call no mantra, no thought, and then you slip into the gap between thoughts and you have transcended thought. And the more you transcend thought, the more these obsessive thoughts loosen their hold on you. So that's another way of dealing with compulsive thoughts. And then there are many others, laughter therapy. You can go on the internet and watch cartoons or funny shows or even read jokes. There is visual imagery, there is exercise, breathing techniques, all kinds of pranayama, bandhas and kriyas, pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses, yoga, including what we call yogasana, which is focusing on a seat of awareness in a particular posture, and also getting good sleep, eating the right food, making sure that you focus on healthy relationships where the dominant theme is love, kindness, joy, equanimity, empathy, compassion. So when we focus on what we can do for others as well, remember that whenever you're anxious, you can ask yourself, who am I thinking about? And you'll see that all anxiety comes from just self-concern. So you can shift from that by doing something for another person, or thinking of helping another person. So I think I've kind of mentioned laughter, exercise, music. Music is a very good way of transcending compulsive thoughts. Music, dance therapy, story writing. You can write your own story as you would like it to be, journaling about your obsessive thoughts, reflecting on why you have them. All these are very useful exercises to get rid of obsessive thoughts. Now, of course, we know that obsessive thoughts can lead to compulsive behavior, and the extreme of that is addiction. Addiction is the memory of something that was pleasurable but is no longer pleasurable. So addiction is not getting enough of what you don't want anymore. And addiction is very difficult to treat. By the way, we have a Chopra Center, Addiction and Wellbeing Center outside of Vancouver, and you can look it up by going there, and we have an amazing person taking care of it, and she runs the center, and you might want to look at her blogs on our Deepak Chopra website as well. So it's outside of Vancouver, you can look it up. But as I was saying, addictive behavior is very difficult to treat because one has gotten habituated to repetitive thought patterns, repetitive emotional patterns, repetitive behavior patterns, and they're kind of ingrained almost as cellular memory. And as we know, memory, especially if linked to past experiences and pleasurable behaviors, is not easy to eradicate. In fact, it's impossible to eradicate. So you cannot get rid of that memory, but you can overshadow that memory by a more pleasant memory. Therefore, massage can also help, because massage increases serotonin levels as well, which helps get rid of the depression that is frequently associated with addictive behaviors and addictive thought patterns. So at the Vancouver Center, they use Ayurvedic therapies, including massage, herbs that are called adaptogens, such as ashwagandha, shatavari, and triphala, and gugulu. But they also use sensory modulation, brain biofeedback, meditation, mindful awareness, and yoga as well. And of course, counseling is always helpful, provided the counselor is empathetic and understands how consciousness modifies itself into these patterns of behavior. So those are some of the techniques that we can use. I'm going to take a 15-second break here, and then we'll be right back. So I'm back, and what I was going to end by saying is, addiction is in a way a substitute for the true exaltation of spirit. And so the ultimate cure for all addiction, all addictive patterns, all obsessions, all attachments, is to understand your true self, the pure mind beyond all conditioning. And so I would say, replace your obsession with the obsession to know who you are. Once you know who you are and have a deep understanding of your own true self as a field of possibilities, as a field of creativity, as a field of awareness that continues to evolve in the direction of higher consciousness, as a field of non-local correlation, as the source of all intention and the source of all experience, then you will realize also something which is very important, that no experience gives access to reality. Because reality is not an ephemeral, transient experience. Reality is the awareness that modifies itself as experience. Stay grounded in being. Yogasht Kuru Karmani. Established in yoga, perform action. And then you will experience spontaneous creativity, love, joy, and enthusiasm for life. And slowly but surely, the web of karma, conditioning, compulsion, addiction will lose its hold on you. I hope that helps. Once again, the book is You are the universe discovering your cosmic self and why it matters. And we'll continue this conversation. Nina Mansoor and 43 others shared your video. Thank you, Nina. And thank you everyone who are sharing these videos, who are expanding this conversation, and together as we engage with each other, we can reach that critical mass, I hope, one day, for a more peaceful, just, sustainable and healthier world. Namaste, take care, Shivansh Mahajan, and I'll see you all tomorrow.